Hold on. Snap, crackle, pop my joints. Welcome to the stream. Give me uno momento, por favor. Alright, so today we are doing a bread thing, and I hate making bread things, but I'm like, you know what? I have all the ingredients. There's no need for me to go to the grocery store if I make bread today. So I decided to make bread today, and then I'm like, you know what? I've decided I want to go to the grocery store anyway. So we're also going to be making jam, so I'm going to be mixing. That is a real word, but I tried to combine the word making and bake. I don't even know what I'm doing. Welcome to the stream where we don't know what we're doing all the time. We're making biscuits and jam because it's very easy. So if I turn you guys over here, I can go get the ingredients I need because, again, when would I ever prepare for anything? That's not something we do here. I have the recipe crudely written down on a piece of paper, so we're not winging it, but we are also entirely winging it. Firstly, I have to set my oven to 450 degrees. That's so hot. Like me. Anyway, I need buttermilk because we're making buttermilk biscuits, because if you make any other kind of biscuit, I question your sanity. This expires July 1st. It is very much past July 1st. It just smells like buttermilk. I have more buttermilk to use. But this buttermilk is also very expired. Alright, anyway, new buttermilk. Hello, Dip. Welcome back to the stream. New buttermilk. Thank the Lord that I am someone that constantly overbuys ingredients because I never check to see if I have my own ingredients. This wouldn't have also happened if I normally check my ingredients, because I would have looked at the buttermilk and been like, oh hey, it's expired, let me buy new buttermilk. But instead, I just assumed I didn't have buttermilk, so I bought new buttermilk. Anyway, we're committing arson today. I mean, if that's what we're deciding, sure, let's go for it. No, we need to make biscuits first. I mean, I might commit arson. My oven is set to 450 degrees, and my oven does not like that. Hello, Squishy. Welcome back to the stream. So, first things first, I need cup measurements. Ew. I do need cup measurements though, because this is a recipe I ripped off of the internet. If I would have thought that I was going to be baking biscuits sooner than literally this morning, I would have gotten the recipe from work. But I don't have the recipe from work, so I stole it from a random person online. We're going to need 1 cup of buttermilk. I kind of want to double the recipe, though. It's also a lot of dough to work with, but it said it serves 4. I'm like, I'm making 4 biscuits. I'm putting so much effort into this for 4 biscuits. I'd at least take 8. We'll see how it looks. We'll see how it looks. Firstly, we need a cup of buttermilk, so if you would like to join me down here. Look at that thick liquid. Ah, that beautiful butt milk. We love it. Shake it in there. So we're adding the liquid to the bottom of the bowl first, and then we're going to put all of the dries on top of it. So I also don't have enough buttermilk, I think, for a double batch, so we're just going to do the singular batch. So, cup of buttermilk. I also need 2 cups of flour, so I got to rinse this out. Everyone watch my buttermilk. Make sure it's not doing anything too buttery and or too milky. Can't have either. Oh no, can't have either of those things going on. Alright, fuck the rest of the cups. Hello, Smart Donkey. Welcome back to the stream. Alright, so I need 2 cups of flour. I think I'm just going to put this to the side right now, get a different bowl. Add the flour to that bowl. I don't know why I have my scale out. But I need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Is this all-purpose flour? Lord Jesus, I hope so. I don't know what kind of flour I buy. I'm like, what's the cheapest option of flour, even though I'm a professional baker and I really should only be using the highest quality? I'm like, no, what's the cheapest flour you have? UK is going through a heat wave right now. I heard about that. Went out and bought a whole watermelon for the horses. The horses deserve watermelons. That's all they deserve. Every single horse deserves a watermelon. Vote for me for president of the UK. That's not how the UK's voting system works, nor their hierarchy government, but still throwing it out there. Hellish in Chicago. It's not too bad here, actually. It's been like 86 degrees, which is still not good, but it is a lot better than the other places. We're lucky enough to be right next to Lake Michigan, so that gives us a pretty good breeze. Like, Chicago is technically like the windy city, so I know that's technically something has to do with like inflation and like money shit. It's also just super windy here. So we get the breeze off of the lake, so it makes us a little cooler, which is nice. Other things I need, baking soda and baking powder. We're doing double the leavening agents. Well, not double. For some reason, it's like, yeah, a whole tablespoon of baking powder, but 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. Tell me how that makes sense. Hold on. A whole ass tablespoon of baking powder. That's not even a whole tablespoon. I need more. There we go. Whole tablespoon baking powder. 1/4 a teaspoon of baking soda. Be the next prime minister? I would love to. Do I need to be a UK citizen? Because honestly, I'm sick of being a United States citizen, so I feel like we could work something out. Also, hello Saltwater, welcome back to the stream. Horses love the watermelon, as they should. Yeah, but I think I would be a great political leader if it weren't for the fact that, I look like this. I'm literally wearing a shirt that says, I'm going to hell in every religion, and I want to become a political leader. What am I making? We are making biscuits. Well, the start of biscuits. What else do I need to add? I need a teaspoon of sugar and a teaspoon of flour. I do have a teaspoon. All my measuring spoons. I don't even know what I got. And another one of salt. Should I just use kosher salt? No, it's too late. I already have the salt shaker. 1 and 1. And then the last thing we need to add to this is 6 tablespoons of butter. Now, the recipe online that I stole from the internet, it says to just chop the butter. I'm not gonna do that because I'm extremely extra. Meaning, how much is this? This is like 6 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this thing's about 6 tablespoons. I'm gonna grate the butter because when you make biscuits, you want them to be really nice and really buttery. And so you want that to be evenly incorporated. And yeah, you can like chop it up, but I like grating it better. So, putting on a glove. Because I'm just going to peel this back, take my grater, grate the butter into the dries. You want it to be really cold, so I just pulled this out of the refrigerator. Honestly, probably could have put one in the freezer earlier. But look at that butter! Ma'am, say when. Sir, ma'am, random person, say when. This is a lot of butter. Was the butter frozen? No, it was not. I just pulled it from the refrigerator. I probably should have froze it, but planning here on this channel? Never. Could never be. I'm starting to grate some of the paper. But this is also my really nice butter. So we'll see what happens. Alright, that's pretty grated. I'm gonna shove the rest of these in here. And then I'm just gonna kind of mix it. Oh no, there's still so much at the bottom. It's gonna be grated butter all over my table. When done. Alright, here's your 6 tablespoons of butter on top of your, I don't know, I assume this was like a weird pasta dish. Now I'm just gonna kind of You know what? Fuck the glove. We're going in barehanded. I'm just gonna kind of toss the grated butter that is now all stuck back together in the flour. Probably should have done some of this a little earlier. And it also is slightly melting in my hands. So this is going great, guys. Everything's going real good, real great. Real great. Ah ha ha. Ah ha ha. Anyway. Alright. Just breaking up and tossing the butter. My hands are now covered in flour. And then I'm going to rinse off my hands. I'm going to get my dough hook for the mixer. How's my butter looking? Is it melting as we speak? Where's my dough hook? Here it is. Alright, so I have my weird dough hook that I don't think, I don't think I've ever actually used the dough hook because I've just avoided making bread for so long, or any bread-like products, that I'm like, nah. Alright, so I'm just gonna dump the dry ingredients on top of the wet ingredients, and I'm going to mix this literally just until it comes together. What is happening? Click that in. Still a little bit of butter on the side. It's literally melting because it's like 70 degrees in here. This isn't plugged in either. We're losing time. We're losing him. I've been watching too much Grey's Anatomy. Doctor, we're losing him. So yeah, I'm just gonna mix this all together. In the meantime, I'm going to set everything to the side because I'm gonna need space to roll out my dough. How's it looking? Doughy? Beautiful? 10 out of 10? Wow. Look at that dough. Alright. I'm just going to get some of the flour down on the sides. My hand, nature's spatula. If you don't bake bread with your hands directly, I don't know what you're doing. Like other pastry stuff, you don't have to use your hands, but normally I do. Every single bread product ever, I'm just gonna shove my hand directly into it. My butter's starting a crime organization. Am I putting anything on the biscuits? Yes. Once these go into the oven, I will be making a homemade jam because strawberries were on sale at the grocery store, and I'm like, I could make strawberry jam. That's freaking easy. Except I got to the grocery store and I spent 30 minutes looking for pectin, so it wasn't as good as a grocery store trip as I could have expected it to be. But there's already flour on this table. Wow, look at us. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more flour because the dough probably is gonna be super sticky. But I'm going to take the dough out of here. You're all put together, right? Yeah. Look at that, it's a dough. I'll flatten it out on the table. God, this is such a small amount of dough. Like, it's good because I don't think I would be able to eat more than this, but also it's just, we will make batch sizes of like, I want to say like 60 biscuits. This makes 4. This is such a small amount of dough. Anyway, if you want to come here, we're going to do the folding process, which, do I have instructions for? Not entirely. But we're just winging it. It's fine. I'm gonna roll this out a little bit and then we're gonna do some folds. I want the dough to be kind of even, and you just want to occasionally pick up the dough and move it around on the table just to make sure it's not sticking to the table. But I'm gonna roll it out to be pretty thin. That looks good. All right, I'm gonna fold this way, this way. Kind of shove this in. I'm doing a book fold. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. Not letting it rest? No. No, we are going until we are done. This is not a stream where we wait for things. So, we're doing all 3 folds right here, right now. I'm gonna chill the dough after it's all folded and cut out. And then I'll get a start on the jam. But, right now, we're just fucking it up. We're just getting the folds in. Bread takes time and patience, and I think that's why I don't like making bread. Biscuits, though, biscuits are pretty easy. I'm fine with a good biscuit. Alright, now I don't remember if I'm supposed to fold it. Yeah, I'm supposed to fold it continuing the fold, so the layers are on this side, so I want to fold it so I get more layers this way, yeah. Alright, I'm doing, what is this called? Book folds. Is this how I do it at the bakery? I usually don't make the bread at the bakery. I'm very much in charge of the pastry. But this is how I see them do it. And then we'll freeze a big batch of them. And like bake them off as needed. But I think that's pretty good biscuit-wise. It's pretty good dough. There you go. Heck yeah. I think I'm gonna cut this, and then that'll be it. Maybe roll it out a little more this way, because I think I can get like 6 mini ones out of this, which is kind of what I want, because I'm kind of like, oh, like this would be like a good breakfast food. Like biscuits and a little bit of butter, some homemade jam. God damn, do I have wifely qualities or what? Imagine waking up and like it's just like, oh, it's time for breakfast, homemade biscuits and jam. God damn. Anyway, I'm gonna get a bench scraper. So I'm just going to cut these like this. I'm not cutting them into circles because that's ridiculous and wastes dough, and I don't know why people do that. So I'm using all of it, and I'm just cutting it into 6. See? Biscuits. Now, if you look, there are layers in that. Wow! Look at me go. Anyway, I'm gonna put these on... What am I gonna put these on? A plate? Sure, I guess. Do a big plate. Big plate. I'm going to pick these up, trying not to fuck with the layers too much. Actually, that's a lie. I'm going to cut the edges of these real quick because I want the layers to be on all sides. So I'm cutting off like the edge part. Get rid of you, so all the layers can be showing. There we go. Heck yeah. Now they're a little bit more rectangular than square, but they still are like little baby biscuits. They're cute. I like them. I don't know if they're gonna entirely turn out, but we'll see. Put them on the plate. Someone just threw something on the ground above me. On the floor above me. Alright. So we got our biscuits. I'm going to throw these in the freezer real quick so they can harden, so the butter won't melt when I put them in the oven. Well, they won't immediately melt. I still want it to melt, just not immediately. And luckily enough for me, when I went grocery shopping, I didn't go majorly grocery shopping, so I still have room in my refrigerator. But now, we got biscuit scraps. I want to throw them away because I'm not entirely sure what to do with them. I probably could find something to do with them, but I'm lazy and now we need to make jam. My girlfriend baked me pastries for breakfast. I start going ring shopping. No, don't have a girlfriend. Don't worry. Oh, deep fry it? Oh, hell no. I am terrified of burning down my apartment. And I know one surefire way of doing that is trying to deep fry something. forgetting that this isn't actually a bench and I can't just, like, scrape all the flour off of it because there's, like, it's not like a flat surface. There's indents in this, so I'm just scraping flour into the indents. What a beautiful, lovely noise. Anyway. Roll them up and make drop biscuits. That also could work. It's too late. They're already in the garbage and I already have decided against it. Because now we need to make jam, which is going to require me to cut a shit ton of strawberries right now. So I'm going to get a bowl. I'm going to get rid of all the buttery, floury junk. And also wipe this down because, Lord Jesus, is this a mess. God, these wipes smell like coconut and it's so weird. I'm sorry, it's Pacific Breeze and coconut. It's literally just coconut, but okay. Deep frying frozen turkey is a good time. Oh yeah, totally trust your judgment in the ability to deep fry a frozen turkey. Joke's on you, I'm watching Grey's Anatomy and they said in the Thanksgiving episode that someone tried to deep fry a turkey and then half of their body was burnt. I grew up with weird uncles. I've seen weird things, people deep frying birds and cooking birds on a fucking beer can in the grill, and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. That's your cooking method style, I guess. Alright, so I got a bunch of strawberries because they were on sale. I need to wash these off, so why don't you come with me? Because you're probably sick of staring at the cutting board. I bought them because they were on sale, but also they smelled really good, so this is going to be good jam. Just give it a good little rinse off. And a good little shake. Berry box 1 has been washed. On to berry box 2. I forgot my oven's still preheating, and I'm like, why is it so warm over here? Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Anyway, berries are done. My hair is in my face, but my hands are wet. Life is rough. How are you guys doing? Nothing wrong with a beer can chicken? There is nothing wrong with a beer can chicken. Alright. Are you ready to see my knife skills? Because I'm not. This table is way too far down from me, so I have to like weirdly like bend over when I cut things. It's fine. I'll survive. I'm just gonna cut these into like maybe quarters? No, that's still too big. Quarters and then half I think is good for now. Yeah, that's about the size I want. That's good. I'm also just gonna make a bunch of it because the berries were cheap. Jam keeps for a pretty long time, so cut you in half. Slice. Slice. This is gonna take a while, so I apologize to everyone already. Don't amputate anything? I'll try not to. No promises, though, because sometimes I do some stupid shit. This one's pretty big. I'll cut this one into thirds. Meow, meow. Mason's screaming, and I have decided I want to sit down. The fuck am I trying to do this standing up for? Been working too long. Too used to doing things standing up. It's gross. I don't want to do it anymore. Hello. Back to knife skills. How was everyone's day? Mine was pretty good. I don't even remember what I really did. I went grocery shopping. That's about the best I got. I got into one of those moods where you just go on the App Store and you download every single random game that you find because you're like, I'm bored right now and I'm not entirely sure what to do. So I guess I'm just gonna play a bunch of apps on the App Store and get bored with every single one of them within the span of 20 minutes because they're all just severely ad-based. Like, I bought a game, well, I didn't buy a game, I downloaded a game, and it was like, oh, like, I don't know, it was entirely ads, which is always sad to see. Because it's like, oh, like, I like video games. Like, I wonder what the App Store has. And then it's just all garbage. Complete utter garbage. I'm gonna blend them. No, I'm gonna cook them. And it'll just kind of deteriorate them, I guess. They're really good strawberries, though. And there goes my finger. No, I'm kidding. I'm not trying to make them even or anything either. Because they are going to get cooked down. I'm also just doing this in like the stupidest way ever, to be fair. Knife skills were never my strong suit. But also, I've never had to julienne anything ever in my life other than in culinary school. So, like, the fuck was that? I had to memorize that it was 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch by 2 inches. Matchstick-like. I've never had to julienne a single thing. Never had to tournay anything. The fuck was that? I've given up. I'm just chopping them into very large pieces at this point. We're speeding through it now. We're not at all. Get back to work, don't sit down. If I have time to lean, I have time to clean. It's fine. Sometimes we actually do get to sit down at my job. The problem is we're never like standing in one spot, or we're never in one spot long enough to like be able to sit down. The only time we really sit down is when we're doing like decorated shortbread cookies, because those will take like 2 to 3 hours. And, like, if you have the ability to sit while doing something, you should and you can. It's just the problem is there's not really a whole lot of opportunity to sit down. So we're not, like, bad like that at work, but also, why are people bad like that at work? Like, how is someone sitting while doing their job any different than them standing while doing their job? Like, if you want to make someone weirdly stand on their feet to the point where they get, like... Well, my boss, at one point, got, like, a fracture in her foot from just standing for so long. And it's just, like, why? And then her doctor was like, hey, like, you probably should stop going to work for a little bit because, you know, your foot's broken, and your foot's broken just because you stand all day at work. And she's like, you know what I'm gonna do? Go to work and stand all day, and we're like, what the fuck? Buddy, go home. You're in a boot. We understand that you can still technically work here. That doesn't mean you should. My bosses are like the opposite of like every other boss I feel like in America. They're very much like, we care about our employees, but we don't give a shit about ourselves. And it's like, honey... Go home, go to sleep. You've been here for 13 hours. And my managers are always like, it's fine. What am I going to do when I get home? I don't know. Talk to your husband? Converse with your fiance? I don't know. That's what I would do if I were in your position. But you really seem to like it here. So, I mean, if you want to stay here, we can't stop you because you are our boss. But we will yell at you at least for the 2 hours that we think you should go home before you go home. It's a wild concept. Sitting makes you take up more space. I mean, you're right on that front. That's probably the reason we don't sit, because our bakery is tiny, and then all of a sudden, there's like 4 people in there, and it's like, oh, I don't have any space to work at all. Guess I'll just squeeze myself into this corner and mise out my several ingredients onto random spots that I can find. Random empty spaces in the bakery. Yesterday was a wild day, because I closed by myself for the first time at work, which was super weird, because I had to write, like, the prep list and stuff, which, like, people had prepared me for. They're like, like, your biggest task is going to be writing the prep list for the next day. Like, you have to take inventory and count everything that we need, and if we need more things, that's what you write on, like, the prep list. And then all of a sudden I was done with the prep list, and I'm like, wow, that was really easy. And then all of a sudden I was the only person in the restaurant making both boxes of berries. Probably it's gonna take me a while to cut all of these up, but it's fine. This might be a longer stream. I don't know how long it's been already, but there's a lot of chopping going on. But yeah, I got finished with the list at work, and I'm like, wow, that was easy. Time to go home. But I was the last one there. Like, they had closed up everything already. And I'm like, do I have to, like, turn off the lights? Do I have to make sure that, like, no one's in the building? Like, is there anything else I have to do? Because people prepared me for being, like, the last bakery employee, but no one prepared me for the last person in the restaurant. And I'm like, what? Why would you not prepare me for that? Why would you? To be fair, when I started working there pre-quarantine, I was 19 years old, and they would have me close all the time, and I'm like, I'm a 19-year-old child. This is a famous restaurant. Well, not a famous restaurant, but a slightly well-known restaurant. And you're just gonna let a 19-year-old lock up the entire place? Okay, you know what? If that's your decision, go for it. But that would not be the decision I personally would make. Oh, we're only at 30 minutes? Oh, we got time. The biscuits only take, like, I think 12 to 16 minutes, it says. I have it written down. Whoop. It's fine. This is gonna be such good jam. I'm also putting a lot in here because the jam is gonna reduce quite a bit, because all the water from the strawberries are gonna get cooked out. So it seems like a lot of strawberries, but it's probably gonna be maybe like 1.5 quarts of jam. So, like, not too much, but don't mind me just building back up the strawberries. There we go. Aha. Throw that in there, that in there. We're almost there. We only got an entire another box of strawberries. Technically slightly halfway there. Well, I mean, after this, we're literally just gonna put all of this in a pot, fill it up with, the strawberries, some sugar. I might add a bit of gelatin, because I couldn't find pectin anywhere in the grocery store, which I feel like is not enough of a weird ingredient for a grocery store to not carry pectin. Like, I've gone to the grocery store and I'm like, I know that they're not gonna have the thing I need, so I can't make that recipe. But sometimes I go in and I'm like, oh yeah, they totally have this thing. This is like a normal thing that people would buy, because it's very, like, big in, like, jam making and canning things. Any type of, like, mason jar-ery is, I have pot. I have pots and pot. Only one of them I will be showing to you today. But yeah, no pectin. A sad time, so now I gotta figure out how to thicken up the jam. So I'm thinking of that. I am totally winging the jam, by the way. I have a recipe for the biscuits. The jam we are entirely winging, because I just decided, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make biscuits today. And then I'm like, oh no. The biscuits are gonna be super sad if I don't have anything on said biscuits. And I needed jam because I have strawberry jam, but it's almost out. That, like, I didn't make, I just bought it. And I'm like, why am I buying jam? I know how to make my own. That's for Friday. That's for after stream. It's for tomorrow. It's for the next day. It's for the next day. It's for Friday stream. It's always really funny when people look at me and they just assume, like, oh, she's like a... Well, not... That's a lie. No one looks at me and assumes I'm a sweet, innocent person. But people look at me and they're like, oh, you're like 22 years old, a little baby child. And I'm like, I am a grown-ass woman who consumes quite a few substances. The people are always shocked and surprised when they find out. Which is fair, like, I never talk about it because I feel awkward talking about it because it's, growing up it was just this whole big taboo, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, by the way, it's legal now, and I'm like, now there's, like, billboards for dispensaries. Like, what a wild concept. Like, what fucking dystopian are we living in that, like, people were getting, thrown in jail for this, like, 4 years ago, but now there's literal billboards advertising it. Sweet, maybe. Innocent, no. I don't know, I feel like people just, like, in my industry, everyone's, like, not older, but, like, they figured out what they wanted to do, or they either, like, fell into this industry accidentally, and they're like, oh shit, so, like, I got here late, so, like, now I'm here kind of late because I thought, art school would work out well for me, and then it didn't, and so I got, like, a job, as a chef for a while, and then I learned, hey, I really like this. So, like, now that's my career, but I started late, and I'm like, I knew at the age of 18, I'm like, I'm going to culinary school. And I went to culinary school, and in my same introduction class, like, very first class, there were, like, every single person I worked with was like, oh yeah, I'm, like, 34. I have a wife and 2 daughters, and I've served in the military, and now I've decided to go to culinary school. I'm like, hey, I'm 18, I just moved here from Wisconsin. What up? So, like, I am, like, really young in the industry, technically, because I started out young. So now I think people just look at me and they're like, oh, it's the child. Because I was the youngest person working... No, I think I now, again, currently am the youngest person working in the bakery. What a wild concept. Age. Alright, I think the rest of the berries are a little smushy, ooky looking. So, the rest of these going in the garbage. But we finally have our strawberries. I'm just a baby. No, absolutely not. Treat me like a grown-ass woman. Because that's what I am. I don't really want to be. But I don't know what else I would want to be. Alright. Our jam is done. Never been drunk or high. I mean, if you haven't this far, you're probably fine going without it, but it always is an interesting experience. Alright. So, I have the strawberries. In a second, am going to put them in a pot, but first I think we're going to bake... Oh shit, I don't think I have any parchment paper left. I think I used it all last baking stream, but I do have silk pads, so we're gonna see what happens. Adulting is overrated, but the problem is, if I have to go back to, like, being a teenager or, like, a child, like, living with my parents and not really having any control over my own life, that's so much worse than being an adult. I would take being an adult over, like, going back to my childhood any day. Alright, biscuits are hard, well, they're not hard, but they are less soft than they were before. And also some of them kind of curved because I put them on the plate funny. But we're going to put these, if I can rip them off the plate. Put these on a sheet tray. I've lined it with a baking sheet because, well, a silk pad because I don't have any parchment paper. I'm gonna set up a timer right away before I even put it in the oven because I'm terrified I'm gonna burn these. Alright, timer clock for 10 minutes. It says 12 to 15, but I'm also doing them a little smaller, so I'm going to start with 10 minutes and hope for the best. So, in the oven they go. Ah! Oh, it's so hot. The oven is so hot. Start the timer. And I'm going to bring you back over here because we need to weigh out our strawberries to see how much... You good? You shaking? Calm down. You use greased aluminum foil? I can, but I can't. Because I have an irrational fear of tin foil. It's not actually an irrational fear, I just hate the texture. Oh no. I just really hate the texture of tin foil. Like, so badly. Like, every time I look at or, like, hear or see anyone play with tinfoil, I immediately imagine, like, taking a small piece of tinfoil, smushing it up in a really tiny ball and chewing it like bubble gum. Oh, God, no. I'm so sorry. But I am out of parchment paper, so we're just using a baking, silk pat. Let's play the game. Is my pot gonna be big enough for all these strawberries? Don't tell me to calm down. I am calm. See, anytime anyone tells anyone to calm down, they're always just severely stressed, but also people are like, don't tell me to calm down. I am calm. I'm like, it is very obvious that you are not. And no one has ever told a calm person to calm down. Ever. Oh no. It does fit, so that's good. So this is, how much? 1 pound, 13 ounces. So let's do 8, 13, half of 13 is, I'll go with 7. Well, it's technically like 6.5. 6.5 plus 8. 14 and a half. 14 and a half! Look at me doing mental math! Wow! 14 and a half ounces of sugar is going in here. I just always do half of the amount of fruit to sugar. Watch, someone's gonna correct me in the comments and be like, actually, that was not right at all. It's fine. We're winging this. I got some sugar. I think that's all I need. I might add a little bit of fancy frou-frou stuff at the end. Or I might wait until the mixture is, oh god, what's it called? Macerated? It's like when you put together fruit and sugar. You like macerate it, or is that the act of chewing? I can't remember. It's like the act of like breaking something down from sugar. Sorry about the noise of the chair. Welcome to the oven. You only get to see my torso right now. I'm just spilling sugar all over the place too. I'm just gonna heat this on high heat until it turns liquidy, and then I might add some gelatin to it just to make it a little more jelly-esque. Because again, mascating is chewing. Then I forgot the other M word for like breaking down fruit with sugar. It might not even be an M word, but I feel like it starts with an M. So what do you use to keep aliens from reading your mind? I mean, I don't think the aliens want my thoughts, to be honest. Because the only thing going through my head 24/7 is like the Chrissy Wake Up song. Along with like, I don't know, random rants and like TikTok ideas. That's the only thing that goes through my brain. Like TikTok sounds. Oh no. Well, there goes a berry. The sugar will start to break down the berries. Yeah, I forgot there's like a specific word for it though. And I can't remember that word. I don't know. They quizzed us on a lot of vocabulary in culinary school, and I'm like, fuck if I know. I don't remember any of the like, we were tested on, like, okay, what is this called? And I'm like, I don't remember. But I know now because I'm actually, like, have been in the industry. It's just like, they handed me, I was in culinary school, and they handed me a piece of paper, and it's like, what is this straining tool? I'm like, I don't fucking know how to spell chinois. I know what a chinois is now, but at the time, no. I don't know. Metabolize? I really don't know. Brain is gone. Brain is broken. It's gone. We've lost it, guys. I know this is literally just sugar and strawberries, but I just want to eat it with a spoon right now. I don't know. There's also a single noodle on my stove right now, so if anyone's hungry, here's a snack. Things are cooking now. Welcome to, like, what I do at work when I have, like, 4 things going at once, and I'm like, I can't start a new project because I'm only doing 2 things at once right now. I'm baking biscuits and I'm making jam, but now we're at the point where I'm like, I can't start anything new, and I don't want to start anything new, so I'm just gonna stand here and fuck around and find out until my shit is done. Yay. I had a brain once. It was a long time ago. Too bad the aliens took it because I'm afraid of tinfoil. It's getting pretty liquidy, so I think I'm just gonna add... Do I even have any more gelatin? I do. I think I'm just gonna add like half a pack. Because I don't... Time for dishes. That's a lie. I'm like, I don't have dishes. I just did them this morning as if I literally just didn't make biscuits. I could. But first I'm gonna add a little bit of gelatin to it because I don't have any like thickening agent. That's gonna make it keep for a little longer. Because again, the grocery store didn't have pectin. For what purpose? Alright, how much is actually in a package? Because it says like 0.1 gram, and I'm like, okay. No, I think I'm actually going to add all of this. I'm going to add a whole package of gelatin into this. I should mix it with like sugar before I put it in, because I'm afraid it's going to solidify. No, it's fine. I added a singular gelatin packet. I don't know if that's going to do anything. But now I'm just going to cook this until it's no longer liquidy. Because what is going to happen, it's going to get liquidy, and then it's going to get like syrupy, and then it's going to get liquidy, and then it's going to get syrupy again. I don't know how to describe it very well, but just use some of my bone marrow. I mean, yeah, alright, let's do it. Where'd I put the knife? Who's ready for a live amputation? Not me. I am gonna do dishes though. You guys can come a little closer. Actually, how much longer, oh god, how much longer do my biscuits have? All-knowing computer, give me a sign. 2 minutes is not enough time to actually start dishes, but let me check the biscuits. They look puffy. They don't look done though, so it's probably gonna need some more time. I'd also like to show everyone a cup that my friend gave me. It says, remaining fucks. And I love it. Alright. Literally have a minute 30 seconds left, but I'm gonna wash this. Sometimes I try to like beat out timers. Like, something will about to be like coming out of the oven and I'm like, it's fine, I can do this one thing first, and then that one thing ends up taking me a lot longer than I thought. Or it takes me so little amount of time that I'm like, well, it's fine. I just want to wash this cup too. I have 1 minute left. And then I think I might rotate them and put them in for another 4 minutes. 4 or 5 minutes. Because I just want them to be like a little brown on top. A little golden is like the main thing that I'm looking for. I'm also going to pull one of them apart to make sure that the inside isn't gooey anymore. Because you want to make sure it's fully done, so I like to rip one open. And then that's the one that you get to eat right away. Cat Pop. Welcome, Shane. Welcome to the stream. Let me also mix my berries because it's very liquidy right now. Very liquidy. 14, 13, 12. Fuck the timer. I'm rotating them now. You guys want a little sneak peek? Sneak peek. Look at that. Beautiful. Give them a little rotitty. And start the timer again for 5 minutes. I think I'm also gonna take a pound of butter out of the refrigerator right now. And then I'm gonna let this soften, and then I'm gonna whip it to put on top. Because whipped butter is better than regular butter. And the only requirement for that is literally letting it sit out for a while, and then you whip it. Whip it good. Alright, back to dishes. Oh god. We also got this new girl at work, and she's a lot of fun. She has like a very big personality. The problem is, I do not have a very big personality. I'm very much come in, maybe converse for like a couple conversations and then leave. No, that's a lie. I converse quite a bit at work, actually, because that is the only time period where I actually get to have conversations with people. Because I don't do anything else outside of work, really, besides work and stream and play video games and get high by myself. I don't do a whole lot, so that is, like, my main socialization that I get. But the problem is, like, I went to work, and we have the new girl, and I worked with her before, and she's great. But she had never worked with this other girl who also has a very large personality. So I went throughout the entire day maybe saying like 20 to 30 words because I could not get a word in the entire conversations. It was a fun time. There we go. My main goal is just to wash out the fruity stuff. You know, have the fruit wash the fruity stuff. But no, it's just specifically to make sure that I don't get fruit flies. Everything else is usually fine. As long as there's no, like, fruit stuff, because, you know, they're fruit flies. Or vegetables. Vegetables are a big one, too. I had a fly in here earlier, and I didn't notice it was here until Mason was, like, running around like a goddamn maniac, and I'm like, what's up, buddy? What's going on? And then that's when the fly flew past me. And it was doing, like, some really dumb stuff. Like, at one point it landed, like, on the chain of, like, the fan in my room, so I tried to swat it, but also it was on the chain of the fan in my room, which is not a very stable place to kill a fly. And I would do what we normally do at work when there's a fly, because, like, every restaurant, no matter, like, how hard they try, will probably get bugs. Just because it is a restaurant, it is surrounded by, like, there's just food everywhere. You can try your hardest, but the real, oh god, the spatula's hot. It's also getting very liquidy. It's currently, like, boiling right now, as I, like, leave. Nah, it's fine. I'm filling up the... Heck yeah. What about the boyfriend? What about the boyfriend? He's doing good. We're gonna hang out tomorrow. After work is boiling real much right now. I think I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Just for some peace of mind. But, you know, you see how it's, like, very liquidy right now? Yeah. It's gotten to the very liquidy stage, and we now want to get out of the liquidy stage by cooking it down more. Alright, I filled my bowl with very hot water in the sink, so hopefully that'll melt all the butter and then fuck up all of the flour. How much longer do my biscuits have? 45 seconds? What? It's crazy. You're supposed to hit me on one of the things that you, like, punch. Alright. You know what? 30 seconds left. Not that bad. Let me rip one open. Or open, like, the easiest looking one to rip open. Nope, they're done. Heck yeah! I made Biscuits! Look at those bad boys. Hold on, let me open one up. Look at that. Biscuit boys! Let me throw them over here to cool for now. Yeah, we get it. My timer went off. But joke's on you, I already took them out of the oven. Struggling very hard to put them down. And this is just gonna happen for a while. Well, the biscuits are done. And it is strawberry jam. I cut up a shit ton of strawberries earlier, and it smells so good in here. Mondays are my favorite days because my apartment always smells like a baked good. Instead of whatever candle and or I've been getting into essential oils again because I have like an oil diffuser. I have like jasmine and lavender, and I'm like, that's the good shit. God, my entire apartment smelling like jasmine, wonderful. You know what would be better? My entire apartment smelling like strawberry jam. It is. It is very close to the top. Like, I'm just like waiting for it to boil over. I haven't had anything boil over on the stovetop before. And I don't want to start today. But eventually, like, it'll cook down and it'll get to a point where I won't be afraid that it'll boil over at any second. What's the difference between jelly and jam? I can't jelly this. Nope, not finishing the joke. Can't jelly this up your. I don't know why I'm trying to pretend not like I don't swear. I just don't want to finish the joke. But the real difference between jelly and jam is that one is usually used based off of like jam is used off of like whole fruits, and jelly is usually based off of like purees. Like there usually isn't like whole chunks of fruit in jelly, and that's kind of what it is. Favorite is cranberry? Ooh. Blackberry's your favorite? I am a very big fan of raspberry, but that was only because growing up as a kid, my grandma had a raspberry bush in her backyard. So we would go treasure hunting, aka we would just go to the raspberry bush and pick like ungodly amounts of raspberries, like pounds of raspberries, and then we would turn it into jam because we didn't know what else to do with literal pounds of raspberries. Because it was like a huge bush, and it was just my grandma. And she like didn't really have the energy to go out there on like a weekly basis. Cause like raspberries just keep growing. Like you can pick them, but like different like plants are done at like different times. So like all of a sudden it's like, oh, this bush is done, like let's pick all of it, and then like 2 weeks later it's like, oh, another bush is ready to be harvested. So like every single one of my cousins would just like go over and just get an ungodly amount of raspberries. I wonder what happened to that bush. I think they got rid of it. Because it just was so much at the end. Heck yeah. Rolling pin. Done. Can you stop boiling and be better, maybe? Question mark? I honestly don't know how long the jam is going to take, and I feel like I should have done the jam in the first place. Done the jam first and then whatever else. Oh god. God, I love this spray Dawn dish soap. It's so nice. And the butter's all hot and melty in the bowl. Now it's all over my scrub daddy. My scrub daddy looks like he's been violated a little bit. She got paid in raspberries. I did get paid to basically garden for my grandma in raspberries. And I would do it again. Lord, homegrown fresh raspberry jam. Beautiful. I'd say raspberries are my favorite fruit. It's super funny because people will be like, oh, what kind of desserts do you like? And I'm like, well, I like things with raspberry, but I also really like caramel, but also raspberry and caramel do not go together, so you can't really have a good favorite dish because the two ingredients that I most like do not work well together. Raspberry and caramel is not a combination that anyone really wants or needs. I'll figure out how to do something with it one day. Strawberry, caramel, whatever. Last dish. Heck yeah, this is from when I had tater tots for lunch. And also a peach. But mostly 30 tater tots. Just because I went to culinary school doesn't mean I know how to actually feed myself. Ooh, a gooseberry bush? Got to pick all the berries? Heck yeah. My neighbors also growing up had a mulberry tree. And I would just go over there all the time and I would get the bottom of my feet dyed purple because that's the color of mulberries. And they were just all over the floor. All over the yard because they just fell off because once they're ripe they just fall to the floor. And so those were for all the birds and all the squirrels and bunnies and stuff, and we would get everything else. And I found out that there's a mulberry bush kind of near me. It was funny because me and my boyfriend were walking and I'm like, oh my god, this is a mulberry tree. He's like, oh, what? I'm like, yeah, the mulberry, all around the mulberry bush. Monkey chases the weasel, that's a thing, and you can eat those berries. And so I literally just, this random tree in the middle of, my neighborhood, took one of the berries and ate it, and he's like, are you gonna be okay? I'm like, yeah, they're mulberries. Do you want one? He's like, no, I'm not gonna eat a random berry off a tree. I'm like, we're walking to Target right now. If we get to Target and then we walk back to the mulberry tree, and by that point I am not dead, you have to believe me that I am able to identify plants. And you will have to eat the mulberry. And then we got back, and I'm like, hey, it's a mulberry. I haven't died yet. Do you want one? And then he tried one, and he's like, wow, that's actually really good. I'm like, yeah! It's a fruit you can eat! And it's so liquidy. Pop goes the weasel. That's a liquid. If I ever saw one, it's very drippy. Also, it didn't rain today, but I saw water dripping from my window, and I don't know why. I never figured it out. There was just water continuously dripping outside my window, and I'm like, I thought someone was dumping something out of their window. But that wasn't it, because it was continuous. So I really don't know. It's getting thicker. Slowly but surely. The bubbling has very much gone down. I am less afraid of it boiling over. So you guys watch the jam. I'll be right back. If anything happens, you're in charge. I'm gonna have a stream one day where it's literally just I set my phone up in front of a crock pot for 4 hours, and that's the stream. Just like, hey, watch my food cook for me. That could be a weird ASMR. Hey, that's my jam right there. Oh, hell yeah. Excuse me, this is your jam? This is my jam. I usually like cooking it until, get Swifty. I usually like cooking it until it starts, like, dripping in, like, multiple places. Like, it's slow dripping instead of, like... Once you add a lot, it starts, like, fast dripping. But once it gets like this, and it's, like, slow drips, yeah. I'm gonna cook it a little longer, maybe, like, 3 more minutes. And then I'm gonna have to chill it. Because it has to get, like, cold in order to get, you know, to a jam consistency and not burn the roof of my mouth. But that's fine. While that's chilling, we can make a little bit of whipped butter. And then we can make ourselves a nice little breakfast sandwich at 8 p.m. It's all about the drip. That's how everything works. Everything's always about the drip. Yeah, I'll go like 5 more minutes, maybe. That means you get to watch the jam again. Alright. Look at the biscuits! Ah! Oh, they're still steaming. Ooh. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. I think there's also a cat hair in this one. These are just for me to eat, so not really too concerning, but also, wow. Alright, let's... Look at those layers. Beautiful. I'm gonna just rip it right in half. Oh no. I say as I proceed to almost fuck ripping it up in half. I'm gonna fuck up this one, so I'm not gonna rip it in half. But I think that's good? Question mark? Yeah. I'll count that. What do you guys think? Is that a slow enough drip? Is there enough drippage happening here? Also, hello, 5524. Okay, welcome to the stream. Alright, jam, done. I'm going to pour a little bit into one of these containers. I'm going to pour the rest into this container. Look at that Jimmy Jam. Alright. I'm gonna pour a little bit into here just so I can like get a little bit started on the cooling. And then the rest... Will the rest all fit in here? Oh, it will. Oh, it's just a quart. See, like a quart and a half. That's what I said. I think that fully gets to like 1 quart. Hey, look, more dishes. Yay. But I'm going to put this in a bowl. Do I have any ice? I do. I'm gonna make a small little ice bath for this with like 3 ice cubes. If I can. Don't have a very good ice maker, but you know what, 4. That's good. Put some cold water in here. Get this cooling. This is one of the shittiest ice baths I've ever made. But it's happening, so... Forgot that was the hot burner I just used. Yeah, that's happening. Look at that. This is the jam. I'm going to put a top on this and put this in the fridge. For later. That's a lie, I need to label it first. Remember to label all of your shit in your fridge so it doesn't sit there for a month. But also, if it does sit there for a month, you're like, oh god, this has been sitting here for a month, I should feel bad. Or when you look at that thing that's been in there for a month, and you're like, wow, I wonder what this is. Oh, it's strawberry jam? That's weird because the container is green. What is today? Are we at the 20th yet? No, the 18th. I don't know what day it is anymore. Ever. Like, for the last, 2 weeks, I'm like, I understand that it's July, but that's all I got. It's now penicillin jam? Yeah! That's how that works. Definitely won't kill me. So, while that is going, what we are going to come over here is our butter soft. Not really at all. Somehow it is soft, but also not soft. So I think I'm going to hand temper it a little bit. Don't ask me what hand tempering is, because do not fear, I'm gonna show you. So this is what we do at work when our butter is too hard to work with, and we need it to be a soft consistency. Hold on, I gotta pour the sad water out of here. Dry it off a little bit. But slide this in. Slide into your DMs telling you, hey, here's how you make hand-tempered butter. I'm literally just gonna take a stick of butter and just mash it up in my hands for a little bit. Like half a stick at a time. Welcome! Welcome to culinary world. Oh no. Did I drop a little bit of it? Yeah. I don't even know if this is gonna be enough butter to whip. But I'm having a fun time, and that's all that matters. Just a violently grasping butter. Firmly grasp it. Firmly grasp it. Alright, I'm just gonna take a paddle attachment with the sad, mashed up butter in there. And I'm just gonna do that for a while until it gets to a softer consistency. Don't know why, but I thought throwing butter against the wall makes me laugh too hard. You just take a stick of butter, we have done that with so many doughs at work. We're like, how long do you think we would have extra dough that we just don't have anything to do with? And then so we would just take that dough and we would chuck it at the wall, and we would have a countdown to see how long it would stay on the wall, and we would all take our guess and oh yeah, pita dough will definitely stick up there for 40 minutes. And then you would alright, it's been an hour, Mandy's out. See, look at that. Ah. Wet butter. It's gonna be soft and fluffy. Might eat a biscuit. How's the jam doing? The jam is solidifying slightly. I don't have a spatula right now to mix it up, so I just violently shake it. But I think that is good on the butter front. I'm going to scoop this into a small container. I need a spatula, preferably a rhubarb spatula, preferably my small red spatula, but I can't find that one, so we're using this big guy. I actually can't open my drawer right now. If I bring you over here. Oh, wait. We're almost there. What is happening? Spoon, what are you doing? Why would you betray me like this, Spoon? There we go. Thank you. Anyway, small rubber spatula. I hate my kitchen. I can't wait to move and get a nice kitchen. That's a lie. I'm gonna move and it's gonna be a only slightly better kitchen. Not really at all. Haven't ate today. Looks good. Dip! What the fuck? You probably, I mean, the thing that I like about biscuits is that you probably already have all the ingredients you need for biscuits. You can make this. No one's stopping you. But also no one's forcing you to make these. It's all up to you, Dip. Some puffed corn. Wow. What a nice nutritional meal. Some puffed corn. I don't know why I'm judging. There are some times where I'm like, wow, I ate 3 bowls of cereal. I ate a bowl of cereal for every meal today, and it wasn't different cereals. It was all the same cereal. Alright, how's the jam doing now? It's pretty thick. Alright, so I got a little rubber spatula over there. Gonna get a little thingy. And we are going to make a biscuit. I'm also gonna sit down. Oh. Hey guys. Alright, so I'm just gonna use the biscuit that I ripped open already because I ripped it open already. Let me swap it with this one. So I'm gonna take my fluffy whipped butter. Like, look at that consistency. It's gonna melt directly. That's actually also a lot of butter. This is an entire stick. But just get some nice butter on there. It's still also pretty warm, so the butter's melting. Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. Get a little bit of jam on that. I'm like, oh, I could eat all of these right now, and honestly, wouldn't be surprised if I do. I'm gonna eat this one, and then I'm also gonna have to make another one for my Instagram. So I'm probably gonna eat 3 of these tonight. Alright. Got homemade jam, whipped butter, homemade biscuits. Let's take a bite. Oh my god, I'm so excited for these. The jam is also dripping all over the place, so... It's so good. I'm so excited. Why do I not do more bread projects? It's just so easy. I'm dripping all over the place. The jam's good. Biscuit's good. Butter, amazing. Don't act so shocked, donkey. But also, I am also shocked that these turned out really well. Hold on. There's stuff all over me. Honestly though, delicious. If you make these, please let me know because I'm very surprised at myself that this worked out, but I think that's it for today's stream. Hold on. Yeah, alright. That's the end of the stream for today. Pictures of this will be on my Instagram because I can make this look a little better than I just made it. But thank you guys so much for watching and so much for being here. Always come into the streams late. I'm sorry, but I will be streaming next week. Friday is the next time I'm streaming, at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If that makes any sense to you guys, but... Thank you guys so much for being here and so much for watching. I will see you guys when I see you guys next. Goodbye, my beautiful, lovely, baking bitches.